tell you, you know this ain't right, this ain't you, you phony kicking it now. You just surrounded yourself around all these brand new folks and now you done got brand new. I know what you did last night. I know what you said yesterday. I know what your mama did, what your daddy did. I know where you came from and everything else. But they want to keep you bound by that. So what happens is we spend our lives making a step forward and 5 steps back every day. That's why we can't get to our destiny. That's why we can't see our destiny. If you're driving in a car, you constantly looking in your rearview mirror, you are bound to have an accident. If you're not sure about where you're going, then get off the road. Get your directions. Read your instruction book. It's been here for many, many years. We got a manual that we don't use. It's the manual of life. But you're looking to people to tell you what you need to do instead of finding out what you need to do for yourself. Your identity is not contingent on a word from somebody else. It's contingent on a word from you. It's contingent on an action from you. You have to get up and do your own homework in order to pass your own test. Storms come in our life for a lot of reasons. Some storms we bring in ourselves. And some storms God created for us from the foundation of the earth. But what happens is because God is so merciful and he loves us so much, when we pray to come out of a storm, he sends it away. He sends it away. It's on hold. It's on pause. But how many storms do you have on pause? How many tests do you still have to complete? And then when you get to going through something and you say, well, I've been doing all I know how to do. And God, you still sending me through because it's been on pause. So just like Hurricane Katrina, we prayed for Hurricane Katrina to stay in the Gulf, don't come, don't come. But a hurricane is a compilation of many storms. And it grew too big to stay out. And now it's got to come. The storms have got to come in order to wash away what needs to be washed away. And yes, in the aftermath, it's going to leave some damage. It's going to leave some wreckage. It's going to do some things. It's going to cause an upheaval. But an upheaval is good in your life when you're trying to make progress. You cannot have progress without change. And most of us are too lazy to change. We are complacent. We are finger-pointing hypocrites. And we think that just because we show up out of habit instead of heart, that God is going to bless. You're showing up to the wrong things. This is a building. This is a building, and we appreciate you coming out. But really, when you leave, what are you doing for you? What have you learned in this building? A school is a building. It's put together for you to collect knowledge. You can't be taught without a teacher. You can't be preached to without a preacher. But what are you learning? How long does this word last? It doesn't, because you haven't done your own homework. This is like Cliff Notes. If anybody's been in college, you know what Cliff Notes are. Everybody wants to get the Cliff Notes so they don't have to do the whole research paper. So somebody else did all the work for us. We just want to skim over it and just get the high points. And then, I'm going to do my paper based on the high points. Not realizing or not thinking that the professor knows what Cliff Notes are too. When I was in college, we had a paper to do, and I was working at the time. I was working and going to school. And I didn't have time. I was so wrapped up, and I was in dealer school and working at the casino, and then I was going to college, and so I had somebody give me these Cliff Notes. Did I not read the bottom where it says who made the notes? It was my teacher. You think he don't recognize his own work? So I got a big fat F in a credit semester, in a credit time where I really, really needed it. But he knew that I did not put in the work, so he could not give me the reward. Work, reward. Work, reward. If you don't work, don't expect no reward. In the word, it does say, my people perish for lack of knowledge. But they perish for lack of vision. They perish for lack of understanding. And they perish out of sheer stubbornness. Some of us are so wrapped up into how we think, we can't hear nobody else anyway. So I don't know why you show up anyway. Because all you get out of here and do is go back and say, man, I don't even believe he said that today. Do you believe he said that today? This ain't really the word. God didn't really say that. He didn't really mean that. Well, girl, I'm telling you, God know me. He talking about God don't know me. God know me. He knew me when he created me. He knew what I was going to do before I was going to do it. He knew what I was going to say before I was going to say it. They knew what I was going to do before I was going to do it. That's why they provoked me in the first place. Shh, God understand. God got me. Well, no, he don't. You ain't even got you. But you're looking for somebody else to hold you up and push you forward. Then when we get with these guys and we get it out with our friends, we get with me and we want, I'm that ride or die chick. I'm that ride or die chick. He don't even want the ride or die chick. If you ain't, you're gonna die for him, but you can't even kill yourself for you. What is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You don't have enough love for yourself, but you're gonna ride or die for him. If you was gonna ride or die for you, why you not in school? Why you not making something better of yourself? Why you not looking to your future? Why you not becoming the woman that God really intended for you to be? But you hung up on him and her and what I want today. What about tomorrow? Life is about planning. Life is about reality. Life is about preparation. And the word is here for preparation. No, we are not supposed to worry about tomorrow. And yes, we are supposed to keep God's will in mind that he has for our life. But we still have to work. Faith without works is dead. So if he's just wanted us to live day to day, then he wouldn't have said nothing about faith. Because you don't need faith to get through a day. But you need faith to get through a week. You need faith to get through a month. You need faith to get through a year. You need faith to get through a lifetime, through a journey. If you swing it, everything is by you. I'm living by the edge of my seat. I'm on the edge of my seat because I need to be excited. I need to be captured. I need to be captivated. What audience are you? This is not a movie. This is not, you don't get a chance to repeat it. You're spending one of the things that you can never get back. It's two things you'll never get back in this lifetime. That's breath and time. Why waste your breath on things that don't matter, and why waste your time on something that's not productive? We waste so much time hating each other. We waste so much time and energy saying what we don't like about one another and how we can't stand this person. They ain't this and they not that. But studies show, they did a study on why people don't like each other a few years ago. Don't know if you are familiar with it, but the results came out as such. They took 100 people who did not know each other, who judged each other based on sight. They spent about 5 minutes together. And they then took them into separate rooms and asked them what did they like or did they not like about a person. They responded, and then they asked them what they liked and did not like about themselves. Now, what the study found is that most people that did not like another party, they reflected on the things that they disliked about themselves that they saw in the other person. So if you don't like something about yourself, why would you take it out on me? Fix you. Don't try to fix me. Fix you. Spend your time fixing you instead of talking about me. You're going to magnify. Did you see her purple suit today? Man, there's a spot in it, man. She had that on last year. Did you see her? She could at least bought something new. I mean, man. I mean, wow. She's supposed to be the first lady. Look at her, how she looking. She ain't no good example for us. She ain't no good example for us. She don't even say nothing. She don't do nothing. All she do is just sit up there and just be saying, go ahead, Pastor. She don't know nothing. She don't have no scriptures. She don't study. She ain't got no power. She ain't anointed enough for him. I'm supposed to be right there. It's the truth. thing without saying anything. You can say a thing without saying a thing. So, and then other people will tend to get in your head too. You will have no problem with the person, but then somebody else has told you they corrupted your whole outlook. Because, not because of the person allowed it, but because you allowed it. Because people magnify other people's insecurities. So today I'm going to tell on myself. Okay? I'm going to tell on myself. Because as a woman, I have insecurities. We all do. We all have things that we want to change about ourselves and things that we want to improve about ourselves. And I was afraid to be up here today. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. I was nervous about being up here today because I want to know if you're going to receive what I said. I don't want to waste my time sitting up here talking, being all sweaty and everything, and then ain't nobody going to receive what I said. Because, not because of what I said, but because of how you view me. How you look at me. Now, I know that reputation has a lot to do with how you receive a person. Your reputation is a representation of your character. But what do you do when you don't really know that person? So I found that most people have made up my reputation. They've already said what I am going to do, what I'm not going to do, and what I'm capable of doing. Because that's their perception of my reputation. But I'm here to clarify my own reputation. I am not a preacher like my husband, Pastor Rock. Nor am I a co-pastor, as many first ladies that I have encountered said that you're supposed to be the first lady. Well, see, God did not call me to pastor. I'll be the first one to tell you, I ain't no pastor because I don't have a pastor's heart. I don't. I got a mean streak in me, and I get funky and critical about everything like everybody else. But God whoops me. He whoops me in private. So I'm going to tell you a few things about me, and then I'm going to move on. It's been my fault for a lot of reasons that people haven't received me, but see, I thought it was them, and it was really me. I was closed-mouthed and closed-minded, scared that if I opened my mouth that the wrong thing was going to come out, and that I was going to ruin his reputation. I lived like that for a long time. But see, God told me, well, if it's important for you to be the leader that you pray to be, how can you lead without saying anything? How can you lead in the dark? If your light ain't on, ain't nobody else light gonna be on. If you trust me, then trust I'll give you what to say, how to say it, when to say it. If you trust me, then I'll develop the relationships that you desire and give you the discernment to avoid the ones you don't need. If you trust me, then you'll do exactly what I tell you to do, and you won't leave your assignment unattended or unfinished. And a lot of us, we abandon our assignments because it get a little too hot. It's hot in here. The heat gets turned up. People start watching you. They start looking at you. Then they get critical about what it is you are doing. And some things you don't even want to do, but you got to do it because God said for you to do it. Some things you don't want to say, but you got to say it because God said for you to say it. It's not for me to worry about those things that he tells me to do. If I'm doing it because I'm doing it, then yeah, I should be worried. But anything I do, when God say do, I'm never worried because God got me. He that ride or die man that I'm looking for. So I'm telling on me today in hopes that you'll tell on you. You don't have to get up here and tell it, but tell it to yourself so that you can correct it. Reflect on it yourself. I'm looking up here because the mirror do have two faces. A lot of us, we adorn ourselves with bitterness, sarcasm. We become oppressors of other people based on how we feel. We take